Sparked a federal investigation. A couple months later, St. Mary's shut down his pediatric heart surgery program. State officials also took action, but not the kind that many people were expecting. And now Elizabeth has new information about political donations made by the company that owns St. Mary's. Elizabeth joins me. So these standards that the hospital wasn't living up to, Elizabeth, what's the state of Florida done about it?
You know, it's interesting, Anderson. So there are these standards that were in place. The report found that the hospital wasn't meeting them, so the state of Florida got rid of the standards. That's right. Less than 2 months after our report came out this past summer, Anderson, the state of Florida moved to just get rid of them.
And, I mean, why? I know you've been looking into it. What exactly is behind the reason to get rid of the standards?
You know, Anderson, the doctors who take care of these babies with congenital heart defects, they say that they think they smell a rat. They can't prove it, but they say, look, the Tenet Healthcare gives large amounts of money, big donations to Republicans who, of course, run the show in Florida. So, for example, look at contributions from Tenet to Rick Scott. In 2014, for example, Tenet gave Rick Scott $50,000. That is twice the amount that Tenet gave any other candidate. And there were also other contributions to other Republican lawmakers and to other Republican congressional groups. And, it was a lot of money. It was way more than was given out to other states.
So what's Tenet saying about it and the governor's office saying?
So Tenet and the governor say, look, we never discussed these standards. Tenet says we never discussed them with any elected officials. And the state of Florida says we have to get rid of these standards because the legislature never told us that we were allowed to have them. I said, well, the standards were in place for 38 years. Well, now you're discovering that the legislature never said it was okay to have them. I didn't really get a direct answer to that question.
I mean, it's incredible. They've been around 38 years and now they're just gone. The broader implications, I mean, are doctors in Florida you've spoken to, are they worried about getting rid of these standards, or that it's going to cause real harm?
They are, and they've actually been involved in legal cases to keep the standards. The standards are technically still there, but they are currently on their way out. The doctors say, look, these standards are there for a reason. These are very difficult surgeries to do. You need certain pieces of equipment. You need people with certain kinds of training. They're there to protect children, especially babies who are born with these terrible defects, and they're horrified that the state is trying to get rid of them. They're really worried about the health of thousands of children who are born with congenital heart defects.
Incredible news. Elizabeth Cohen, thank you.